intro. My beautiful people. Welcome back to another lovely episode of the Logic of Emotions podcast / reactions. It's your dog, it's your brother, man, it's your favorite African-American, Melly Baby. We have some more basketball, but this is from a different content creator that was introduced by my boy Zach and a lot of homies in the Discord. If you haven't joined our Discord already, it's down below in the descriptions, man. It's by the homie Synthetic Sports. The title being The Warriors Look Washed. Now, in the beginning of the season, Warriors looked great. But as time went on, Steve Kerr's rotations, his typical playing certain players and situations, certain lack of timing out, lack of just situational control, being able to make adjustments, started coming into play per typical Steve Kerr fashion. So let's dive into it, man. I won't talk too much about it. Like, comment, subscribe. We're almost at 2,500, baby. 5. And then the next goal will be for 5K. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to it. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on my socials. Let's do it. Bow.
Video during the 2023 playoffs after the Warriors got bounced by the Lakers on how we thought their dynasty was finally coming to an end. And you know, we got some pushback from the Dubs fans in the comments. Well, they're now on a 6-game losing streak, and we have their draft pick.
Yeah, they kept saying, well, we'll see next year. No, they always say this about the Warriors. No, it's officially over.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I can't say it's over yet. Can I say that? Tough intro.
Before we start talking about the Warriors, if you haven't already, make
W intro. I love that. That was fire. That was fire.
Leave this video a like, give us a subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you
Sub
never
to
miss out on
Synthetic
one of our
Sports,
videos.
man. Love it already,
so the
brother.
Warriors are coming off a rather turbulent 2022-23 season. I mean, the year prior, they had surprised, I think, a ton of people, winning another NBA championship. And I think the expectations was last year they were going to be contenders again. Although the season did get off to a somewhat punchy start when Draymond cold-cocked Jordan Poole at practice. And from then on, it never seemed like they could put it all together.
Yep.
Yeah, it's tough to win after that happens. And Draymond and Jordan.
Oh, there's 2 of you. Oh, I love this kind of dynamic. Oh, I'm excited. I love these kind of dynamics. Oh my god.
Poole hated each other. I think most of the Warriors core hated Jordan Poole, and they might have been right because he's been absolute ass for the Wizards.
And he's already pissing off his teammates, it seems like.
Yeah. They bring in Chris Paul for Jordan Poole.
Money,
probably still a
punch in the
positive,
face.
but at the same time, Chris Paul's completely washed. You lose Dante DiVincenzo to the Knicks and Iggy to retirement, and then you bring in Corey Joseph and Dario Saric.
Till this day, I still don't understand why we have Corey Joseph and not someone who can play defense or a wing or a more athletic big. Like, I still don't get that.
Kind of just lateral moves. There's not much going on there.
Like, Sarge is great.
DiVincenzo, honestly, is a decent-sized loss.
Big loss. Yeah, the Chris Paul fit was wonky, and obviously losing DiVincenzo hurts. But
the Chris Paul fit works very well for the second unit. He should not be starting. I don't understand why we're still doing this. I don't get why we're still doing this. Having Stephen Curry and Chris Paul on the floor at the same time with the Klay Thompson, we might not even know what we'll get out of that is crazy. Now, Draymond Green, he's low-key doing this thing, but he's still kind of old. He still has defensive lapses. So having him at the 5, I don't think is a bright idea for us at the moment, which is why I like Jackson and try to implement him more into the roles of getting him more minutes. But per typical Steve Kerr fashion, he doesn't like playing bigs. So I don't know. And Wiggins is starting to get along now, which is fantastic. But the problem is Klay, and the problem is defensive schemes. The problem is a lot of that, you know. So
I think people expected the Warriors to play closer to what they did in 2022 than how they did in 2023. And you know what? Their season actually started pretty well. Yeah, they dropped their first game to Phoenix, but after that they won 6 of 7. And you know what? There's some good wins in there. There's road wins against the Kings, the Rockets, the Pelicans, the Thunder. They also got a home win against the Kings. Since that, 6-game losing streak.
And it's been tough. I mean, the Western Conference this year is ridiculous. You lose.
You keep popping up in my dreams.
Have you been dreaming
Yo,
about me?
I've heard about this movie, man.
I have.
Let me know if this is good or not. I've heard some positive things, man. Let me know about that because I might check that out.
Cleveland, Minnesota twice, OKC twice. Steph was out for a bit. Draymond obviously.
Should have fouled.
Cleveland, Minnesota.
And I know people on Twitter were saying, how was he going to foul? It would have been with 3 points.
Twice. OKC twice.
Because he should have fouled him right here.
Twice.
He had to turn to shoot. You had a good amount of time to foul him before he had that ball up for his shooting motion. You had a lot of time, bro.
Steph was out for a bit. Draymond obviously suspended.
So
whatever.
There's
some reasons, but their
Thunder
shooting
deserved that
has
win.
just been absolute shit.
Yeah, I mean, to lose 5 straight at home for the Golden State Warriors, that's inexcusable. And like, their schedule has been brutal. I mean, if you look at their schedule, most of those teams I think are going to be fighting for playoff positions. Plus, they're probably in the most difficult division in the NBA. They still got to play the Lakers 4 times, the Clippers 4 times, the Suns 3 times, the Kings 2 more times. So maybe once their schedule starts to clear up a little bit, they can get a little bit better. But boy, I don't know.
The one guy you can't blame is Steph Curry. The dude right now might be as good as he's ever been. He's shooting 44.6% from 3. That doesn't sound like a real number. If he's able to keep that up the entire year, absolutely insane.
And y'all don't understand this too for a lot of the non-Golden State Warriors fans. He's shooting this with crazy defense on him. Crazy defense on him 100% of the time. 2-man or even 3-man sometimes come guarding on him. You know what I'm saying? So that's insane, especially at the high clip he's shooting for 3-ball too. That's insane, bro. And so it sucks because it's just like, we know Steph's gonna Steph, and people keep making excuses for Klay Thompson. I want to say this to y'all. Y'all gotta stop doing that, because y'all said last year he had a good regular season, right? So what's the excuse for the playoffs? There's no way on this God green earth that it should continue from the playoffs till now for him to still be this bad. Like, he's doing a little bit better now, so I can't really complain too much. But also the issues that I'm having is not with really Klay, it's with Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr, my problem with Steve Kerr is he still thinks that's Klay of old. He's not implementing Klay into a position where he can be great as to what he is right now. Klay Thompson cannot guard the best player on the team every night like he used to. So Steve Kerr, we have to probably try the second best player. Do something else. Try it like that. I'm just saying, bro. I don't understand Steve Kerr's fascination, his obsession with him thinking they're going to still be them. Because Stephen Curry got hurt. Why? Because he's doing everything. When you have to be the offensive load, the only one, honestly, like, you know, Luka was and Giannis was and LeBron was and et cetera, right? That raises your chances of getting injured. You're putting on more of the burden of the offense. You are literally the offense, for God's sakes, you know? So you would think Steve Kerr would say, you know what? For example, Looney is a great big. I love Looney, but Looney needs help. We have a rookie who's athletic and listens and he looks really good. What do? Put him in the G League. What happens? He got hurt playing in a pointless G League game. And I know Steve Kerr's dumb excuse will be to gain experience. Sir, he's NBA ready. Give him more reps, bro. Let Looney chill, dog. Stop putting Sarge at the oh my God. Like, I don't understand, bro. I don't get it.
I don't think that's the best of his career.
That is crazy.
Also worth noting that his assists have fucking plummeted from 6.3 a game to 3.8 a game, but we'll get more into why a little later.
Because Steve Kerr's making him play only off ball and is pissing me off too. Stephen Curry is not just an off ball. That's one of his greatest attributes. But Steve Kerr has done this years and years and years prior, where he's made him just run around the world as if he was just a freaking child at a playground, expecting him to get a catch and shoot. No, he's way more than that. You implement him having the ball in his hands as well as off ball. You have to have a balance with Steph. If you mainly have him doing one or the other, it's not going to work out. You have to have a great balance of Steph being able to implement off ball as well as on ball. You have to. What does Steve Kerr do? Makes it mainly off ball. And maybe once in a while he'll ISO somebody. It's stupidity, bro. It's stupidity.
And he's missed a few games here and there, but again,
Stupidity,
he's
bro.
35, so that's not always surprising. You kind of got to pencil that in. Either way, it's obvious he's not the problem. It's everybody else that's the problem. His supporting cast looks mega washed. Now, the Warriors are getting some decent minutes from guys like Kuminga and to a lesser extent, Chris Paul and Dario Saric. I mean, Kuminga, he's got his scoring output up to about 12 points a game. Chris Paul's given him 9 points per game and 7 assists per game on bad shooting, but realistically, if you expected anything more from him, that's on you. And you know what? Dario Saric is is giving them about 9 points per game and 6 boards off the bench, which, I mean, literally anything he gives you is a plus, because I would have expected
honestly,
nothing.
Yeah, the problem, getting back to him, Klay.
I don't know why they say that. Sarge is actually a pretty decent player. He was before when he was on the Suns, you know, so I expected Sarge to be a pretty good stretch big, but we're putting him at the 5, which is really stupid.
Klay Thompson, the dude has fallen off a cliff. 13.8 points per game on 40% shooting and 33% from 3. I honestly don't get it. You're supposed to get better at shooting as you age, but Klay completely has lost his shot.
He's lost his defense, too.
Yeah.
Can't guard a statue now. I mean, part of the reason...
Overpowered germs. Without
If everybody else sees it, y'all, and y'all still in denial,
refreshing.
that's a you problem, man. I'm telling you right now.
Why Steph and Klay worked for so many years was that Steph doesn't play defense, but he's got Klay to cover for him. So you don't have
Lord, that
two
crossover
defensive
stuff.
liabilities in their backcourt. I'm tempted to say it's injuries because obviously he tore his ACL in the 2019 finals, tore his Achilles only a month before he was supposed to come back from that injury. But looking at his stats the past 2 seasons, he's been pretty good, you know, averaging right around 21, 22 points per game, shooting over 40% from 3. He has plummeted this year.
Yes.
I mean, last year he hit the most threes out of any player in the NBA, and then this year the dude can't buy a 3.
Then we got Draymond.
Also, because he be chucking like crazy. Let's not forget about that too. I'm telling you, he's in that I gotta prove myself phase right now. Instead of being I have to prove myself phase, it should be I have to do what I have to do to win with my team phase. That's Klay's problem. I've told you that many times. If y'all have been Golden State fans as long as I have, you understand Klay Thompson is a shot chucker. He is. Now before he could make it, but it's different now. The injuries have played a major part, which sucks. But at the same time, they need to have an intervention. Tell Klay, bro, we need you to do this. We cannot have you, bro. You know how many games this year Klay has taken so many bad, difficult shots when he didn't have to, when he could have passed it and then relocated for a better shot, or many other things, hit on the low block for a post fade, something better. Or my favorite, him loving to put the ball on the floor now. We don't need Klay to put the ball on the floor. We need Klay to be Klay, but he has to be able now to reinvent his game, as Westbrook has done, for an example. You know what I'm saying, bro? Because Klay can still give us 18 points per game, just not the way he used to. Like, his shot selection has to become better. And again, I can't really blame Klay fully for that because Steve Kerr's the coach. You have to talk to your players and say, yo, bro, you're wilding out right now. The team, you got to tell them, like, yo, bro, you're wilding out right now, bro. Like, come on now. Like, you got to be able to critique your teammates and tell your teammates when they do something wrong. Like, I don't care what you did in the past. This is now. And now, Klay is not Klay. Klay is a shell of himself. So they have to be able to figure out how he can be a major importance to this team. Stop making him guard the best players. Stop allowing him to shoot the ball when someone's dead in their face with a whole wingspan twice the length of his. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man.
Draymond. And look, his stats are more or less fine. They're basically what he's been doing for the past couple of years. But he's just been more of a menace on the court than usual, which, considering who we're talking about, is incredible. I mean, lest we forget what happened in the playoffs last year when he went all stompy on Sabonis' chest. And so far,
Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Still to this day,
the playoffs
I'm not saying he should have stomped on, bro. I'm not saying that.
last year.
But my question will always still be, why the hell did Sabonis grab his leg like that and no one said nothing about that? Like, why did Sabonis grab his leg and think that was okay? Like, 2 wrongs don't make a right, don't get me wrong, but Dre was wilding way more than Sabonis. I ain't gonna lie to you. You stomping on somebody's chest is crazy.
Went all stompy
Stepping.
on Sabonis'
Whatever.
chest. And
It was
so
OD.
far
It was
this year,
OD.
I mean, he's gotten in it with Donovan Mitchell. He's gotten into it with Anthony Edwards. He obviously put Gobert in the goddamn sleeper hole, which he caught a 5-game suspension for. Rudy's reaction to that is fucking hysterical, by the way.
Yeah, that is
What did I do? What?
so funny. Obviously, the NBA
But nah,
is tightened
Rudy
up
didn't
on this
deserve that.
stuff,
Rudy
and
did
that's
not
part of the
deserve that.
reason. But he was never getting suspended before. Obviously, there was the finals game. I get that, and in the playoffs. But in the regular season, this is kind of new territory for him.
I just love what Gobert said, how he says that Draymond intentionally gets ejected from games where Steph doesn't play.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, because someone went back and checked. Over the
Yeah,
past 5
yeah.
seasons, Draymond's played 196 games with Steph, and he's been ejected 4 times. He's played 75 games without Steph, Steph, and he's been ejected 7 times.
That is so funny. And then you got Andrew Wiggins. The guy he was a key piece on that championship team.
He was probably their
second best player.
He was their
Thank
second
you.
best player. He was an
Thank you.
all-star starter that year. I always got to bring that up because that's ridiculous. But for the Warriors, ever since he's been there, he's been a solid player. But this season, god damn, 10.5 points per game on 40% shooting. I know he came into the league with a shaky jumper, but ever since he's been with the Warriors, it's been pretty consistent.
Not this year.
Yeah, man. Yo, like I said, last year, at the beginning of the half of the season, Wiggins was he was shooting the lights out last year, the first half of the season, bro. I never will forget that, bro. He was looking amazing. And then I think he got hurt or he had his family problems. I don't remember what it was exactly, but then it went downhill after that, man. And then again, when you have your 2 main scorers, right? Your 2, the backup Steph, right? And they just not doing their job at all. Klay's not doing his job. Wiggins is not doing his job. What do people really expect? You know what I'm saying? Then you have Steve Kerr taking out Curry when he gets hot, or taking out Klay when he finally gets a little bit hot. Steve Kerr loves taking out players when they get hot. That's one of the most frustrating things I've ever seen a coach ever do. Like, bro, they'll be down by 20. Steph will come in, bring him back within 5, and then sit him down and say, oh, he needs to rest. And Steph will be like, no, I want to still play. If I see my player say, no, I want to still play, I am not sitting you down. Like, I don't think he understands the predicament we're in right now. Like, Steph's going to get hurt regardless. He's going to get hurt regardless because he has to pick up the slack because of these 2 dodo birds. He has to. And Steve Kerr's negligent self. And I never will forget that Thunder game when he said, we're going to try to limit Steph's minutes. Steph played almost 40 minutes. What? Steve Kerr be lying. Stop listening to Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr is the same one that says he's going to have James Wiseman, he's going to have the rookies develop. They'll play more games during that year and everything, right? Barely played him. Barely played Moody. Barely played Kuminga because they made too many mistakes. But then Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, and others made all kind of mistakes, and he didn't reprimand them. But oh my God, it's a very weird hierarchy in Golden State. It's always been that way with Steve Kerr. The only issue is you all never noticed it because we were winning the whole time. So you never cared. I did. Because I said, when this show finally comes to its final turn, this end, right? We're going to see all the negative things I've been telling people about for a long time come to fruition. And it now is being shown. Especially in Steve Kerr's coaching abilities, which is not that great. It's not that great.
Yikes. Yeah, this year, I don't know what happened.
13.5% shooting from 3. Like you said, he was 39% the past 2 years, and he's basically a third of that this year.
I'm not really shocked. Andrew Wiggins was never like a consistent NBA player, so it makes sense to an extent. Didn't expect it to be this bad.
This bad,
I
yeah.
mentioned earlier, Steph's assists being down because he's kicking out to these bums. Can't buy a basket, any of them.
Context. Thank you. Context matters. People on Twitter, I mean, you know, Twitter, people going to just joke around. But for people who actually don't know and they're hearing this information like, oh, Steph's not passing, Steph can't pass. Steph can easily pass. The problem is they're bricking everything. That's the problem. They're bricking everything. So it's just like, you know, it's tough, bro. It's mad tough, man.
Honestly, though, I don't think this is particularly surprising. Why? You said it when we predicted every team's season in 3 words or less. This team is old as fuck. Yeah. Steph's 35. Klay and Draymond are both 33. Chris Paul is 38.
Yeah, and we're getting too used to these players just balling the hell out when they're older. Like, obviously, LeBron, what he's doing is just unreal. KD coming off the Achilles and still playing well at this age. And obviously,
Super
Steph
impressive.
Is still, like we said, maybe the best he's ever been, at least near there. But what's happening to Draymond, Klay, and especially Chris Paul, like, it's to be expected. They're legends, but at the same time,
they're not
Father Time
stepping them.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been getting tricked by LeBron, KD, and Steph. Like, they're the exceptions. Draymond and Klay and Chris Paul, like, that's natural. That's what happens to most guys. I mean, look, they were a dynasty. They had an incredible run. They've won 4 championships, but they're just past their best. It's what it is, and they can still replicate what they used to be from time to time because that's what great players can do, but it's the end of their run, and that's okay.
So some people in NBA media, mainly non-Warriors fans, non-Warriors media, have suggested maybe trading either Draymond or Klay to try to maximize Steph's last few years.
I'll say this before he gets his answer on that one. I don't want to get rid of them just yet. Again, it's just, 12 games in? Come on, y'all. Relax. It's just 12 games in. Give us some more time. Again, Wiggins starting to get into it now. Klay's starting to look a little bit better. Give it a little bit of time. Now, if we're like 30 games in, then they're still playing like this, then we'll talk about it. Then that conversation has to heavily be talked about now, because 30 games in, Steph's still being Steph, and y'all haven't picked up the slack yet. And the bench is playing better. The bench is playing better than the starters, by the way. I hope y'all understand that. The bench is playing better than the starters. That's not good, bro. That's not good. GB2 is also hurting. You know, GB2 hurt. Draymond's an idiot. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it's a culmination of so many different things, bro. And it shouldn't, honestly, because Jordan Poole's gone. Jordan Poole's doing this whatever over there now. I'm praying for him so he can figure it out himself over there. But the issues that we're having Golden State, everybody, even the oppositions, have been saying it. Y'all don't have a real center. Y'all have to allow Klay to get into a new role. Chris Paul should not be starting with Stephen Curry. He should not be starting with Steph. That small ball lineup ain't it, bro. If we're not scoring, that small ball is not it, bro. It's not. It's not.
I don't really know what they could get, but what are your thoughts on something like that?
I mean, I think the Warriors
crazy.
would be incredibly foolish to let that happen unless Klay or Draymond specifically asked for it. I mean, people need to keep in mind that before this run by the Warriors, they were a pretty shitty franchise.
Yeah, that was
prior to the 2013 playoffs, which was the first playoffs they made with Steph. The Warriors had only made the playoffs 11
That was a rough time, bro. Oh, man.
times in 40 years.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
I
like,
miss
even if
Bogut
you look
and
at like
Zilli
the
and all of
all-time
them,
winning percentage, I'm pretty sure the Warriors are still in the bottom half.
And now they're the most valuable franchise in the NBA.
Yep.
They're one of the most famous. They just moved to Chase Center in downtown San Francisco. Yeah, no
Which I still wish they went back into Rorico. I was still mad that they changed that, bro. Rorico is always going to be.
shot they would do any of their legends like that.
That's the video, guys. What do you think of the Golden State Warriors? You think they're going to turn it around? I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments down below. If
Hey!
you enjoyed the video, consider leaving it a like, as it really does help us out. And
I
while
got
you're
you,
here,
twin.
Why not check out some of our other videos as well? And
Like.
don't forget to subscribe to Synthetic Sports.
Subscribe. Listen, great freaking video, man. I thoroughly enjoyed this video, man. Very good video. Now, let's talk about it. We've already spoken about it many times before, bro, about the problems with Golden State and what's going on with them, bro. So I'm not going to reiterate again. Y'all hear me say it throughout the whole entire year. But he was pretty spot on. My only thing is, though, again, a lot of people said the same thing the year that they won. But again, we had players who knew their role really well, who contributed when they needed to. Like, you know, Wiggins did his thing, Poole did his thing. Klay was able to do some stuff, but he couldn't, you know what I mean? Like, so it's different. It's different now. Because our bench is doing great, right? Doing good, whatever it may be, right? But the problem is our two main guys that we really need to contribute are not really contributing. Then we have an old Draymond who's lacking on defensive assignments. We have Klay doing the same. We have Wiggins doing the same. Curry doing it here and there, but he's still playing better defense than we've seen in, you know, prior. So, you know, so it's tough, bro. It's tough. But end of the day, Steve Kerr's the coach. He has to implement these conversations. He has to talk to them. He has to get them back into positioning. Steph as well. Draymond got to grow the hell up. Draymond's a grown-ass child, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. Because we're obviously in this, the team's in a situation right now, and you continuously picking fights with people is not doing a single gosh darn thing to help this team, bro. It's not. Because we need you. Clearly. We need you, bro. You know, so what do y'all think, man? Like, comment, subscribe, man. Join the Banks community, man. It's your boy Melly, man. I'm signing out, man. Y'all have a blessed day, man. Stay amazing. And I'll see you on the next one, man. Peace out.